Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. How's it going, Joey?
I'm doing good, Jeff. How are you, man?
Doing awesome. Hey, we got some cool guests with us in the house today. Well, I guess not in the house, but one of them's actually outside. But we've got Aaron Auxier, president of the Celeb and Sports Division, and Jonathan Badiaco, realtor, both with Williams Luxury Homes, Sterling Fine Properties in Scottsdale. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing? Thank you for having us.
Doing awesome, man. Doing awesome. Yeah, thanks for being on here. We're going to get into some exciting topics here, but why don't we first start with each one of you introducing yourselves to the agents that are watching and listening as far as how you got into real estate and what got you into the business.
All right. You want to go first, Aaron?
Oh, I'm going to let you. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Jonathan Badiaco with Williams Luxury Homes at Sterling Fine Properties. And I got into the business in 2016 when I moved back to Arizona. I lived in Los Angeles for about 9 years working in the entertainment industry, film production management, and then came back to Arizona and followed in my father's footsteps of real estate. So I started with Williams Luxury Homes right after I got my license, and it's been a great journey so far.
Awesome. So what did you what kind of shows and things did you work with out there?
So I started on The Bachelor. I was on Dancing with the Stars for a number of years, and then some different reality shows, award shows, game shows like Idiot Test, the Critics' Choice Awards, Hero Dog Awards, Vanderpump Rules.
Exciting lifestyle, huh?
Yeah, it was intense for sure. Grueling hours, but it was an experience I'll never forget.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. How about you, Aaron?
So my story has a little bit to do with his, just from the fact that I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and grew up in the entertainment business, did some acting. And I fell in love with real estate when I was very young, because I would go to this acting coach in the Sherman Oaks. We have to drive up these windy hills to get there. And I would see all these different beautiful homes hidden behind these gates. I was like 12 years old. And I went to that coach till I was in my late 20s, actually. And I fell in love with real estate, like the privacy of it. And I got into real estate in 2005 in Las Vegas and started selling real estate to celebrities and athletes and CEOs and stuff like that on the strip condos, and made a name for myself doing that. And have been intrigued by the marketing side of it and also the privacy of it. But here in Scottsdale, I am acting on as behalf of president of our Celeb and Sports Division, our team, not in a real estate sense. So it's a pretty neat role.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So expand on that a little bit. So what exactly does the Celeb and Sports Division do? I know you do a lot of marketing, right? And networking probably.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of networking, but really it's a lot of privacy. I just leave it at that, I think.
No, spill the beans. Come on. No, I'm not.
No, man. It's private, man. That's what's cool about it. Hey, mystery creates intrigue. Intrigue creates attraction. That's marketing 101, guys. Or game. You can call it game too.
Got it. No, absolutely. So are you seeing, I mean, obviously without mentioning names or anything, but you've seen a lot of celebrities and sports stars buying second homes out here in the Scottsdale area?
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, I know a lot of our teammates have worked, some celebrities and some just people, I would say high up in power, politicians. Yeah. And I'm actually, speaking of entertainment industry too, like a lot of my connections, a lot of friends, former bosses that I had, executives in the television industry, a lot of people I noticed are moving from California. So right now I'm helping an old line producer that was my boss on a couple different shows that I worked on, or getting them out of California and transplanting them here. So we're seeing a ton of that. A lot of people in my world from Los Angeles, and then also we get a lot of Chicago people as well. You'd be surprised how many
Melbourne's
Illinois, yeah, Elmhurst, yeah, that are coming to Arizona. So
really, yeah. All right. Well, I know a lot of Californians definitely have been moving this way, but you're even seeing that out of like the Hollywood crowd too? Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I'm working with an old boss, and then another one of my bosses, the executive in charge of production on three of the shows that I worked on. She's thinking about getting an investment property here because she's still working full time in California, but she knows that the market here has just, I mean, the price of a house 2 years ago, 1 year ago has like doubled or, increased significantly in the price per square foot. And what people I've noticed, especially I work in the Sedona market, are people are buying investment properties in no HOA areas and using those for short-term rentals. That's just, I've seen a ton of it this year.
Got it.
So,
are you seeing people actually selling their California residence to buy over here too, or are they just looking at second homes?
A little bit of both, but just selling, because I know from what I've been told, the property taxes in California are very high, and just I think people are just ready for a different way of life and maybe kind of getting out of the city. So they're coming here because we're not too far. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, depending on where you are. But yeah, like my boss, some of the jobs in LA, like she was approved to work from home. So, and she would just fly out to Los Angeles if they had a special shoot or something. So they're like, well, shoot, why not just stay out here if I can work remotely?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the work from home movement has really, I mean, it's made a lot of people moving around the country for sure. Even where I am here in the Midwest now in Missouri, I mean, it just seems like I'm seeing a lot of license plates from California, even out here. But I guess if you could sell a house out there for a few $1 million, right, and then move somewhere else and buy one for $1 million, you've put $2 million in the bank. I mean, after taxes, I guess, but
yeah, exactly. Like one of those, I've noticed that Gilbert has been a hot spot. Gilbert, Arizona. I've noticed for some reason people just really like it out there. Well, it's beautiful. I've got family out there. But interesting story, I was with a client of mine and there was a house on the market. It was the end of 2019, new build, beautiful, just didn't have a landscape backyard. It sold for 670. I told my client, this is a nice deal, 670, that's fantastic. Well, the market, Gilbert has just been growing and growing, and the market out there has been so competitive. In my experience, that same house that sold for 670 at the end of 2019 sold this year for 950.
Whoa.
So
crazy.
in 2 years, what is that? Almost like $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Right?
God, for capital gains exemption.
Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of that.
That's almost perfect right there.
Yeah. And then
That's perfect.
in Sedona earlier this year, there was a lot, just a piece of dirt. It sold in February for 200,000, sold at the end of March. So a month and a half later for over $425,000.
Wow.
Crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride here in Arizona for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think the question that a lot of people have to ask themselves too is, or that we're seeing right in the Arizona market is, the prices have gone up a lot. Like you said, some of them have been 40% more in the last 12 to 15 months. But then if you're going to sell, you have to decide where you're going.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can get a whole lot of money for your property and you've gained some equity, but then it's like, now you have to go buy something. So it's like a catch-22, I guess.
Yeah. Or do like we did. I guess we're selling one and we moved to the Midwest. So a much lower cost of living area, but took the gains obviously from the real estate there in Arizona, which I guess is exactly what the California folks are doing, California to Arizona. But
yes. Yeah.
So when it comes to, I guess, Jonathan, what markets are you seeing are the hottest for like the clientele that Williams Luxury Homes works with? Is it still that North Scottsdale or?
Paradise Valley and North Scottsdale and parts of Phoenix.
Yeah, definitely what Aaron said. And like, if you were to look at a map too, like if you're familiar, like if you were to start in Old Town Scottsdale, like Scottsdale Road and Camelback, so that area, and then take it west, like through Arcadia, through Biltmore, into Midtown, a lot of that area, but all over. And then over North Scottsdale, like Greyhawk area, DC Ranch for sure.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Are you seeing any new trends with, say, younger clientele, so millennials that have money? Are you seeing a different trend where they're wanting more like instead of that standard, large single family residence, that maybe they're going with high end condos or something like that? Or
you know what? That's funny. That's what everyone see. I've heard a lot of that, but personally, I haven't. Still, a lot of my clientele is probably just randomly like 40s, 50s plus. And I haven't seen, it might be different for William, Aaron, you might know, but he was doing a lot of condo, like had people who were interested in condos.
Yeah.
But I've been getting a lot of people who want like the single family homes and like a yard space for their dogs. I heard a lot of millennials were moving that way. I have not.
It's just Arizona as a whole, like this valley has tried to do the whole Silicon Desert movement for a long time. And it just kind of never really came to fruition, but it seems that it is more now than ever before. Obviously it is, so there is a younger crowd interested in this state.
got it.
And there's like smart communities starting to come aboard and stuff like that, like out in Buckeye with Douglas Ranch and stuff like that. It's Howard Hughes Corporation and stuff like that is going to continue to probably change this valley.
Yeah. All right. And Aaron,
and
you
if you look
mentioned
at water
earlier,
rights over there, by the way, if you look at water rights that are being pulled over there, it's way higher than there's a lot going on.
Oh yeah, water. I mean, that's a big topic. Seems like right now.
I don't want to touch it, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I can't remember what part of the valley it was, but yeah, there's something about certain water or no more hauled water to a certain part of, I can't remember where it was, but it was a higher end zip code. I just can't remember which one it was, but that was just in the news back in.
There's a lot. Yeah, exactly. Water was a big deal in Vegas, by the way, because of Hoover Dam. And it was just something I don't even talk about. It was a big deal. Like that frightens people.
Yeah. So what are you guys seeing right now is in the luxury market as far as, are you seeing things stabilize a little bit? Are you still seeing the luxury just staying super, super hot?
There was a topic that was interesting that I read yesterday and I've seen is the supply chain issue is affecting like remodels and new construction. Price per square foot has gone through the roof. And that's a deep intrinsic, I don't want to call it wound, like issue. You know what I mean? That is going to probably be around for a long time to come. We have, pardon the planes. We live in a whole different world today. And so how long will these types of things play a role? We don't know. So I think that for anybody to predict what's going on is probably just making stuff up, because we've never been in the situation we're in.
That's true.
And
that's true. Yeah, we've never seen a market like we're in right now. I mean, we've never seen. I know back in 04, 05, prices went through the roof and went pretty quick, but I don't think they went as fast as what we've seen over the last 15 months.
Right.
With the bidding wars the way they've been. Did you guys see a lot of that? Have you seen bidding wars? People going quite a bit over?
Yeah, I for some reason work with a lot of buyers. It just happens to be my wheelhouse. I work with sellers as well, but for a while at the beginning of this year, it was very competitive. We were seeing multiple offers within one day, a couple hours, 2 days, 3 days, and there would be like 10, 15, 20 offers. And, a lot were over asking price. One house that was around like the $500,000 mark got an over asking offer by $80,000. One of my buyers submitted, was trying to get that house and she just couldn't do it. She wanted the house, but that's not a chunk of change that she had laying around, an extra 80,000, and she was getting a loan, conventional loan. So I saw a lot of that at the beginning of this year, multiple offers over asking price, and people were waiving things like waiving inspection periods, waiving their appraisal contingencies. But I will say it's been my experience so far with the past handful of buyers that I've worked with this year, that it's still competitive, but not as competitive. So, I mean, I just closed on a house last week, and it was a contingent offer on the sale of these people's house in Ohio in the Midwest. And it was at asking price. So we didn't go over, we didn't waive the appraisal. We kept our inspection period. It was a contingent offer based on the sale of their house in Ohio. And we got the accepted offer. It was on the market for 7 days, and we got it and we closed. And I've had some other people, we don't have to go crazy above asking so in my world of real estate, it's stabilized a little bit.
Yeah, I think we've seen the number of offers definitely going down a little bit compared to, I think I had one in March of 2021 where, this house had like 52 offers in the first 48 hours. Wow. I just can't imagine going through that many. My client didn't get it. We were second, but wow, it's just the way it is, right?
That's wild.
Yeah. I don't know if it continues, through going into 2022. I do think that we, nothing's showing signs of any kind of drop in prices at this point, obviously. But I would anticipate as prices continue to push up, your buyer pool is going to be smaller because not as many people are going to be able to afford some of those prices, affordability. But maybe with the clients that your guys, brokerage works with, they may not be hit as much with that, but I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah. We will see.
Things always change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's something I've learned.
Yeah. So Aaron, you mentioned earlier too, about some of the changes with the internet and metaverse, that type of stuff, right? How do you think that some of this new technology will impact real estate?
So well, I don't want to say it already is. I mean, of course, technology is impacting our industry. It's called prop tech. There's a term, if you Google it, there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff, but the metaverse announcement was a big deal. And a lot of people don't really know about it. Now, I'm not all into crypto and NFTs or anything, but the metaverse is basically like an encrypted version of encrypted 3D version of the internet. And it's going to make us living in our reality a bit more seamless with the internet. So with augmented reality and virtual reality, Mark Zuckerberg is spending billions on this. Microsoft is, Google is, and they're all in a race to see who builds the best metaverse. And I don't know where that will all lead to, but the thing is, like, everything from an airline ticket to a bus ticket are going to be like NFTs. They're going to have like an encrypted value. And it's just really strange, whole new world. And there's real estate companies like one called Upland, I believe. And there's another website called Decentraland, but Upland is selling NFT versions of real estate in like Manhattan. So that's not physical, tangible real estate, but it's really interesting that they're taking there's like one version of every original property that's an NFT, and people are buying them and flipping them for millions of dollars.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand that whole thing. I just don't, I mean, it's like online real estate. I just don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with it after the fact.
It doesn't matter. There's a built-in intrinsic value to them, and that's why it keeps going. I mean, you know what I mean? And it's just really, like I said, it's a strange new world, but people have been doing this for a long time now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just evolving. So it's like, yeah, for me, I've been hearing this going on for like 10 years, and it keeps evolving, and people just keep thinking that it's not real, but it just keeps evolving and getting bigger. It's weird. So we'll see.
Aaron, I don't know if I told you, but a guy I used to go to high school with, he made the Sedona Papers, him and his wife. It's the first real estate transaction. He bought a house for like 1.1 million or something.
Yeah,
Look at the number.
I remember that.
He brought it in cryptocurrency.
Oh.
So it was like in the papers, it was like the first Sedona real estate transaction involving cryptocurrency as forms of payment.
I was going to ask you guys that if you're seeing it, because I could see it more on a high end, that you're going to start seeing people using Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, right, to actually purchase real estate. But
it seems like it. I mean, it really does. It seems like it, but we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah. My thoughts with that is, how do you? I mean, you have a closing period, right? So if somebody agrees to buy something for 25 Bitcoin or what have you, right? what is that Bitcoin really worth by the time closing happens? You know what I mean? Because it changes so fast.
It changes so fast, so volatile. That's why I don't play in it. It's way too volatile for my taste.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah. Pretty interesting world, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I agree what you said earlier about remote work changing in the United States. It changed the whole world, I should say. And it has really shaken up this whole entire earth. And we have people moving from everywhere, all, transplanting. And it's so interesting and such a different space to operate from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My wife said something the other day. She said, it'd be interesting 10 years from now to see how the migration from state to state actually ended up. Like,
right.
Like people moving to the Midwest versus moving to the West Coast. And I mean, just like the movement, I guess, around the country. So
I'm also interested in like how that will change our life here in the United States or whatever, just because entire states' culture will change. And it's interesting times. It's totally, I mean, you just did it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. And the whole reason, I mean, we had 3 households pack up and move all at the same time. Mostly for the kids, the kids wanted to, they want to be able to get their own place someday. And for young couples, certain parts of the valley there, it's starting to get a little untouchable. So there's just a lot more you can do in other places. So,
right.
But I like it too, because my family's back here and there's something about green grass and trees.
Right.
And rivers and lakes.
What are you talking about? Jonathan, what is he talking about?
Oh yeah, I can see trees. I guess I see some trees.
Come to Arizona. Don't go to the Midwest. Trust me. I moved to Montana for 3 years. I'm from the West Coast. No.
Well, Montana's a little bit different than Missouri for sure.
That's true.
It's a lot more snow and cold.
Yeah.
That's true.
But so what do you guys think? What do you see on the horizon for 2022? I mean, is there anything that you think is going to happen with the market, or?
That's a tough one, because every time I thought it was going to go left, it went right, or vice versa. So we're all kind of just waiting. I know so many people have their opinions, and I've heard so many opinions of, it's going to go down by the August that just happened, or by the end of the year. And I've seen stabilization, but I haven't seen any sort of crash. I haven't seen dramatic drops in anything. We will see.
Yeah. I think if buyers and sellers, people that go to YouTube, they would get super confused. I think if they saw all the different YouTube titles, because there are a lot of people saying, market's going to crash. And then you have people say, these people that say market crash are crazy. And I mean, it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing that's happening with the internet. Just to take it back to the online phenomenon real quick. There's a lot of people arguing with bots these days. That's a pretty silly thing to do. There's a lot of bots that are fueling things. And then I'm not saying those videos are bots. Obviously, I'm saying that everybody's trying to make a buck and everybody's got an opinion, and it's going to just get, the internet is just full of that. I, after being in this game so long, have no comment at all. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. It just, seems like nobody truly knows what direction housing is going to go, or how big an impact, interest rates are going to have on things. Hardly anybody ever predicts interest rates the right way. So it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, who knows? Anything else you guys wanted to make sure to share with the agents before we move to the next segment here?
Oh, I think we touched on quite a bit, and come to Arizona for all those home buyers. It is a beautiful place, and it's great. We love it here.
And you have a good football team now.
Oh yeah, yep.
We do.
Yeah, they lost last night. They're a good team for sure.
I know. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Chiefs.
Okay.
I am not. I'm a Raider fan, to be quite honest with everyone.
Oh, wow. That was a good game last weekend, huh?
No, it was not. It's silly.
And I know this is being recorded, so last week means a while back, but still.
Yeah, basically, my team sucks this year.
They started off the year not bad.
Yeah, really good actually, 3-0, and then just everything went down the drain.
Oh well,
and it's really interesting. By the way, the Raiders Stadium in Vegas is like it's kind of I don't know if anybody knows this, but it's one of the worst home stadiums from a crowd standpoint. It's louder for the opposing teams. Meaning there's more, because it's so expensive to get tickets, and because it's Vegas, everybody especially when it's like rich cities like Chicago and stuff like that, like the big, those teams, when they come, the crowd is louder for them than it is for the Raiders. And that really makes it hard. So it's going to be even harder for them to take us back to the Super Bowl one day.
It's kind of like that here in Arizona for a while. It's slowly starting to change.
Really? I haven't been to a game yet. Right. Like I could see how that would have the same effect with that new stadium back when it opened and everything. Is that what it was, or?
Well, there's just not a lot. There wasn't a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans because everyone
Cowboys fans
came from Arizona. When the Cowboys play, it's like half blue.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I think that's the way it was for the baseball team for a while too. If the Cubs were in town, I think it was mostly Cubs fans.
Yeah. Well, Heather, my wife, she was born here in Arizona, and she's a 49ers fan because they didn't have a football team back then. So it was either Dallas, San Diego, or the Niners, or Denver. And so she went with the Niners, and she's still a Niners fan today.
Well, she's smarter than you, Joey.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not complaining. I'm not arguing that at all.
I'm just messing with you. All right, guys, you ready to get in the ring?
Yeah.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. So, all right, big shout out first to Security Title Agency and Fidelity National Home Warranty for being sponsors of the show. And here we go. What do you think a reason is that many agents are not successful?
Going out and finding business and farming. I think, people think as soon as they get their real estate license, the phone's going to be ringing, but people don't know who you are unless you're, with a good brokerage or getting leads or, putting yourself out there, calling people, making connections. So you really have to figure out ways and brainstorm creative ways to get in front of people.
Got it. Awesome. Aaron, anything?
I agree with all that, but I'll share something different. Not thinking that they can create content online and compete with others who have a big following online or are creating valuable content.
Got it. No, that's great. How about a book recommendation? Either read or listened to on Audible.
I'll share one. I'm reading a book right now called Fathered by God. That is really awesome. It's not necessarily a religious book. It does have it is a Christian slanted book, but it's a very awesome book about the journey of masculinity. And I read it when I was younger, and I just repurchased it. And it's a really good book. So it's for the guys out there. But there's a book by the author's name is John Eldridge, and his wife. They also have a book called Wild at Heart. And there's some books about couples and also like females. But it's just have you ever read it? Have you heard of that?
No, I've heard of Wild at Heart, but I haven't heard of that. Okay,
so Fathered by God, it's like a must read as far as I'm concerned for all men out there. It's about the 6 stages of masculinity and how we have these different stages in us throughout our lives.
Awesome. I have to check it out.
How about you, Jonathan?
I haven't read a book in years, actually.
Okay,
no worries. A good book that I did read a long time ago was called House of Leaves. And I forget the actor's name. I mean, the writer's name, but actually his sister, she was a musical artist named Poe. She was really big in the 90s. She had that song, Angry Johnny. I remember that was a good book.
All right. All right. How about Apple or Android?
Oh, Apple.
Oh, they both said it at the same time.
Yeah.
They did.
All right. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I will say the camera, I have a friend who has an Android, and I did think that the camera was actually a little bit nicer. Like the quality of photos on his Droid was good.
There you go, Joey.
There you go. Yeah, Android's way ahead of its time, so you guys will catch up.
That's funny. Anyway, how about a favorite Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Hulu series?
Man, I don't think we watch TV. I don't watch TV.
Okay, and that's fine too. We've had a lot of guests on that say, I really don't watch much TV.
Yeah, I don't watch too much. You know what? I did see the latest season of American Horror Story on Hulu, and that's
all right.
Yeah,
I just figured two guys, coming from the LA area might.
no,
Content create. Yeah.
I steer away from it. And actually, every show I worked on, I don't watch it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
watch Dancing with the Stars at all. I don't watch any of that. No.
Yeah, and I was worked on some shows in LA myself back when I lived there. I worked on a show called Real TV. I never watched it either.
That's kind of like Johnny Depp, right? Johnny Depp doesn't watch any of his movies, supposedly.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. So if you guys don't watch TV, what do you guys do? Last question then, I guess. So what do you do when you're not doing real estate?
I go to the gym all the time. It's my form of therapy.
Gym is good too.
Yeah.
What kind of workout? Do you do like regular workouts? You do boxing? What do you do?
No, yeah, I do regular. I lift weights and then I do cardio. I think I could just put my head. I'm a big music guy. I like listening to music. I listen to music and, I'm on the elliptical for like 20, 30 minutes. And there's a lot of good hiking trails here in Arizona too. So a couple of my friends and I will go hit up the trails and it's fun. Just a couple hours out in nature, getting exercise. It's
all right.
Very refreshing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being on the show. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. I really appreciate the opportunity, and it's so nice to meet you both.
Yeah. Well, good luck with the market coming up 2022. I'm sure it's going to be a good one again. So,
yes. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
all right.
Thank you, Joe.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right. You have
Until
a great
next
week.
time,
Thanks so
agents.
much.
We will see you later.
Adios.
Bye.